Time we will call this meeting to order. May I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Anson. Here. Trustee Doro. Here. Trustee Myers.
Here.
Trustee Landwehr.
Yep.
Trustee Swenson.
Yeah.
Trustee Wallschlager. Here. President Vanderstel.
Here. If everyone would rise, our Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Trustee Wallschlager.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there, is there, anybody want to speak? Are there any public comments for items that are not on the agenda? There's none. With that, we'll move on to first item on the agenda. Consideration of a motion to approve village board minutes from the September 24th meeting.
I second. I have.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion.
I would like to have my comments regarding the Humane Society added in. The way in the non-treatment of animals when they're brought in. Mine specifically. Thank you.
I didn't touch it.
Any other discussion? It's been moved and seconded. Discussion's done. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried with the corrections, or additions, I should say. Next item on the agenda is consideration of a motion to approve the vouchers for payments in the amount of $161,372.73.
I move we pay the bills for $161,372.73.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Abstain.
That motion is carried. Next item on the agenda, we have a consideration of the first reading of bill for an ordinance number 10-08-2018-01, amending the quorum requirements for the Delafield Hartland Water Pollution Control Commission.
I'll second it.
It has been moved and seconded. Discussion.
If I might, just for a
This is
point
the
of order.
first reading.
It is your first reading. Technically, it doesn't need a motion, unless you intend to
Waive
suspend the rules and adopt. But, so, that notwithstanding.
Yep,
and
thank you.
You
So-
as a chair can deal with
With
that
that,
however
even
you
though a
want.
motion has been made and it was seconded,
Yeah.
because we are working within the rules, there will be no vote.
Well, now I can make a vote saying we sustain the rules once you pass it, don't you?
You would have to do those in the reverse order, but because you could probably,
don't-
probably dispose of the motion as being out of order. And then,
I don't wanna go
if
through
you
that.
wanted to entertain a motion to suspend the rules, you could.
Because you made a motion to approve the ordinance.
What it is that
Second.
typically it's 3 times that it's supposed to be read. That's my fault for not grabbing it, catching it. However, so with that, the motion itself, by me not grabbing it and catching it, was out of order because of our rules that we are operating under currently. So at this point, we are back to square one, and we are taking up, we have a consideration of a reading, the first reading of the bill for ordinance.
And just as a reminder, many of the board members know this, those of you that sit on Delhart know what we're talking about here. This is just a change to the quorum
Yeah.
requirements there. Those of you that attend those meetings can explain it more
And we can-
specifically
we
if
can
necessary,
wait-
but
We can wait too, 'cause we won't have a meeting until November. It
Okay?
was just the fact that years ago, we had a 4-4 and then we couldn't do anything.
Right.
And we'd come over and we had people at the board meeting.
So, and I know we're not necessarily really in discussion, but is it gonna have an adverse effect on that board and where you guys are trying to get to?
No.
So did we, did we
So-
pass the first reading?
Right now, we are at square one. If someone decided to,
start over.
you know, we are, yep.
Who made the motion,
I'll remove the motion.
leave,
Nope. Who seconded the motion?
I did.
You seconded it. Will you remove your second?
Then I'll remove
Thank
my
you.
second.
So the motion and the second, not only that, but it is an out-of-order motion, so that has been removed completely.
as trustee Landwehr points out, there is no real urgency here. You could certainly hold this at least till your next meeting and follow your
Yeah.
more common procedure of waiving at the second reading.
But that's why we did that, because we were running once in a while.
So we've been through the first reading. And thank you for jumping in there. Next, we have a consideration of village board representation and discussion with the police union for its contract renewal There was some information in your packets.
Sure. So, just as a matter for the village board to consider, the police union, represented by the Labor Association of Wisconsin's contract, comes up at the end of this year. In the past, the village board has met in closed session to discuss any issues that might be coming up on the meeting or any issues that the board needs to provide direction on. And then the staff, primarily me, have met with the union and disposed of the matters and then brought it back to the village board for approval. This body is just having the opportunity, if you want, to put a person on that group and meet with the union along with me, if you want. So it's just bringing it up for your consideration. You don't have to do anything. You can certainly appoint one of your own members if you wish.
This may be a good one for somebody to get involved.
I think it is, and I have had a member that has reached out to me, of the board here. Trustee Doro has reached out. Obviously, I put this in front of the board, as we're in discussion here, but I think that, with her showing that want, and obviously, you know, her wanting to be involved, it's good to have a representative there, even though I know it may not have been done historically.
Well, we did.
Historically,
Oh,
it was.
We used to
Well, it
do
was.
that.
Historically, we
Oh, okay.
always had somebody.
We always did that, and it was a lot different.
Oh, okay. No, that's fantastic. Great.
We adjourned
Good.
at 5 o'clock in the morning on the last time I was on that thing.
Oh, well.
We come to, well, you didn't come to agreement. So
I
you
think
know what
Randy
you-
and Dick and Randy and myself have been on that board over the years, so.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. Great. So I would leave it up to the board. I mean,
Can
I'm
we make
throwing
a
it out
motion
there. I'd
to,
like to,
can you put a motion to put Donna on that board?
I'm making a motion to, or I'm appointing, so I guess I'm making a motion to
You
appoint.
make the point. I'll
Do
second.
whatever you want to do, just
Has
get
it
it
been
over.
seconded?
It's been moved and seconded. Mike
Okay.
Meyer seconded it.
Let's do
With
it.
that, any other discussion on that? All in favor of Trustee Doro being the representative of this board on that committee? All in favor? Aye.
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 Okay, thank you.
Next item on the agenda we have is a consideration of a library board appointment as represented by myself, the village president. This is for a citizen appointment. The library, the president of the library board has made recommendation to myself. I hold a lot of weight with that. I did get off the phone with this person today. I would like to appoint Lee Bromberger to that board. He's familiar with the library, has worked with the library quite a bit, and the certain people within the village and the library that I've talked to seem to think that that's a good appointment, and I lean heavily on those opinions, so.
I so moved that we approve the appointment.
Okay.
second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve that appointment of Lee Bromberger to the citizen position on the library board. So, any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried. Or that person is appointed. Also, along with that, I'm going to throw in there, because it was asked of me, I have asked, and I have told the clerk and administrator now, that I did ask that a volunteer submittal form be submitted so that we have it on record.
profile sheet,
A
yeah.
profile sheet, yes.
Okay.
With that, we are to announcements.
I would make three, other than what you have. Do you have any announcements?
I don't have any, I don't have any, I don't know how to address this. We had one email that went out, and I'm hoping that you can address that one email, or whatever updates you may have on, did you see it? From Mike.
Yeah,
Trust, okay,
Those are my
perfect.
three.
Oh, perfect, that's, no, I had a feeling that, we didn't get a chance to talk before the meeting, so it's going off of like reading minds here. For
those
both-
are my
both
three.
ways, so.
Trustee Meyer asked a couple of questions. I will answer, I will provide you a brief update related to the Zion Church, and then I will ask Mike to come up and hit the other two items regarding signs and striping. Zion Church, while I was away last week, at the end of the week, the appraisal came back to the village, so we have that now. I'm working with the attorney's office to finalize a concept of a contract to offer to them to, if you will, buy us time. So I hope that we can schedule a closed session with the village board for next meeting, that you can look at that, affirm that that's okay with you, and then I can get with the church and offer that up to them with some, direction from the village board. So that's kind of where it is, just the end of the week we got the appraisal back, and so we're kind of rolling along.
Can I throw something in? Since we know that there's a special, or there will be a closed session coming, that will be a special meeting to have that closed session, is that
Be
correct?
part of the regular meeting.
Oh, part of the, okay.
Part of the regular meeting. So that's all I've got on Zion, and Mike, if you could just fill them in on the signs rather, and striping.
The blue parking lot signs were delivered Friday. I will be going out to mark locations and call locates so that the underground is clear, and it's expected they'll be installed within 3 weeks. The downtown street striping, I've met with 2 companies, neither of which have had an interest in doing the work, so I am currently trying to find someone that will do that work for us this fall. And as soon as I have that, I'll move forward and let the board know.
Okay. We had originally received bids on it, but now is that kind of what happened?
They were proposals, and when I brought the company in, they were only interested in doing, they weren't gonna do waterborne, they were just gonna do the epoxy.
Okay,
They don't do waterborne like that,
yep,
so, and they gracefully bowed out.
okay,
So that's where those 2 items are.
all right.
Thank you.
Where are the parking signs gonna go?
I have a map, and there's several locations,
They're
depending
not
on,
just gonna replace the ones that are there.
no, we're gonna have to put some new posts in.
And we're gonna put some up there by BMO
That's correct.
to point each way.
Both ways, yep. There'll be 2 on North Avenue pointing towards the parking lot, coming from both directions. There'll be, I believe, 2 on, in front here, going into the lot across the street. And I believe 2 are on Cottonwood, pointing down East Park. And there may be others. I have to
What
pull them.
about the trees where the trees are blocking the signs?
They'll have to be trimmed,
So that's all gonna be done.
yeah.
Yeah, one of the main things is the one where you go down on North Avenue, where you go down to that parking lot. Cause you can't see it coming south.
And Mike had provided you a map of the
Yeah.
locations at one point, and I have that map.
That's the big
And we're
one.
gonna look at the locations and make sure that they're still viable,
Yeah,
because there are some issues with cars parking and blocking signs, especially if they're bigger vehicles.
Aren't those signs green though, the ones that we have?
They are,
And aren't we putting up blue ones?
we are.
So isn't that gonna confuse people? Can we
Well,
have-
we're gonna take the green ones down.
Oh, okay, okay, I thought you were.
We may
gonna
be
leave them.
removing posts, we may be
Okay.
putting them on those posts, we
Okay.
may be adding other posts.
Okay,
Whatever makes the most sense to be most visible. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
see, I got one quick question.
Sure.
If I can.
Of course.
And just ask Dave, as you come up Capitol Drive and turn on Lawn Street there, there, at night, that is black.
Yeah,
And I go up there every time I go home, and I didn't pay much, I know where it is, but I had some other neighbors come up, and you can't see that corner. And people are coming down Capitol Drive in the town with their lights on. And it's just that maybe if the electric company get a little bit better lighting on that corner.
Capitol Drive at Church Street, you mean?
No,
At the gas station or the next one?
the next one.
you said lawn.
I don't mean Lawn
Oh,
Street.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It would have to be.
no, he said no.
no,
Next one over. Next one.
Nixon?
That would be Nixon, or
Nixon.
Nixon. It's
No.
Nixon that loops
No, no,
around
no.
past Hartland.
Now you got me confused.
No, if you're talking about, if we go from Maple, we're now traveling west. From Maple, you get to Church Street, then you come all the way into Goodwin,
He's doing
downtown.
the other.
No, no,
way.
I'm the other opposite direction.
Opposite
I'm
direction.
going to
So the
my
first
house.
one would be Nixon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The first one would be Nixon east of Maple.
and then the next one up.
There
Around
isn't
the
anything
corner.
until you get to Merton.
Oh, wait.
There's just
Yeah,
Church and
the
Nixon.
one
Yeah,
that
that's
goes
Church,
up
Nixon, by
Charlie
Nixon,
and-
yeah.
Okay.
Nixon and Capitol.
On
Yeah,
Remsen.
one there.
Nixon and Capitol,
It
okay.
is dark, come to think of it. Where I live now.
Isn't it?
But it is, it did when I
We'll
look
look.
at it.
I don't know, but I have a question of signs too.
Time for my announcements?
Yes. Who wants to go first?
We have to put you on
No,
the
he-
agenda.
Oh, go ahead, trustee.
God,
Friday, I believe, Dave, is pizza day this Friday at the library?
yes.
Create a
Yeah.
Pizza?
Yes.
Just wanted to put a plug in for that. Can't remember the times, though, I apologize. but,
11 to 1.
11 to 1.
11 to 1, come and try some pizzas at the library. I know the fire department is submitting a pizza recipe for flapjack pizzas. We'll see how that goes, because the following day on the 13th, Saturday the 13th, the annual pancake breakfast is at the fire station, serving fantastic food from 7 a.m. till noon. Fresh flapjacks and all the fixins. It'll be a lot of fun. Tours of the fire station, Survive Alive House, blood pressure screening, and Flight for Life will be landing at 11.
Donate blood.
Can't beat it. And
Donate some blood.
you can donate some blood.
Where are they gonna land?
Sign up at 8
They're going to
o'clock.
land between us and the softball
I
diamond.
thought they couldn't do that anymore. Remember I was there for that one and they said they couldn't because of the lines?
That was too windy that day,
Oh, okay,
so they were a little hesitant to
okay.
come down.
You
Yep.
don't wanna get hurt and be on that end.
That's right, that's right. Well, we're hoping that the chopper will dry up that field a little bit. And give blood, donation hours for blood are 8 a.m. till noon. So it'll be a great time to help others in need, and as the fall approaches, we seem to see an increase in the need for blood donations. Not to be outdone, but then the following week, October 17th and 18th, we will be hosting our annual pizza delivery fundraiser. We'll deliver fresh pizzas from Enters via fire personnel and a fire truck. And when we deliver the pizzas to your residence, we will perform a home safety check, smoke detector battery check, and offer you a free battery if your battery is dead and your smoke detector is not working. And also recommend any additional smoke detectors that you may need in your garage or your basement. Pre-ordering starts for that on the 15th at 4 p.m. Last year we did 92 pizzas, sold out both days in about 22 minutes. So we are pushing this year. We have a new option of take and bake. You can have a pizza all made up, just not baked. We can deliver it to your home. You can bake it at another time. We'll be able to hopefully keep up with the delivery schedule, as it will be a lot of calls already on that. So it's very popular. It's a very nice thing for us to do. We like to get out into the community and try to make their homes a little bit safer if we can. And my last item is just, we had a structure fire, garage fire on North Avenue a couple Fridays ago, and we ran into some issues with the final extinguishment of the building, and we had contacted Kenny Weber Truck Service out of Pewaukee about 11 o'clock at night to tow some cars that had been burnt. He came out graciously, towed both vehicles to the fire station in a holding place, and sent us a invoice of total amount due $0. So hats off to him. I thank him. In times of need in this village, people come together, and it is amazing to me. It never ceases to amaze me how gracious people are and willing to offer their services. So Kenny Weber Truck Service was right on the spot, towed the vehicles away for us, and then we had contacted our DPW. Our DPW came in with the backhoe and loader and was able to help us get the hot spots and remove some of the debris that was causing us not to be able to finish extinguishment. So great example of working together as this community always does, and it's a wonderful feeling. That's all I have. Enjoy pizzas tomorrow.
Order your pizzas and go for pancake breakfast.
God, we're gonna have to eat
Thanks,
all
Dave.
of it.
Okay.
Do you want to go first, Donna?
I probably should have done this in the beginning, but my question is, the sign, like over by the village, right up front here, you have the pedestrian sign right in the middle of the street that you take out in the winter. Could we get something like that for over by Arrowhead where that car accident happened, where those walkways are and the people were in the walkways, maybe in the middle would be more visible? And I also think over by Palmer's in downtown where people fly right through, even though the lines are there, I think if it's standing up in the middle,
Yeah.
they're more apt to notice.
That's a great idea.
Thank you.
Certainly, we can do them downtown.
Oh, that Arrowhead's in us. That's right.
Would have to be.
Arrowhead, that is a town street,
Yeah.
and of course, the school in general is in the town. I can certainly suggest it to Laura, however,
Yeah.
Superintendent Myra, to be more official.
Chief?
All right. Just two quick announcements. Officer Luke Joswick is going to be receiving a life-saving award tomorrow at the PFC meeting. So if anyone sees him or wishes to attend, you are welcome to do that. And then my first week on, we did our accreditation mock review. So every 3 years, the police department goes through a full accreditation review. It's an in-depth look at all our policies and procedures just to ensure we're staying current with best practices. The mock review is always done before the full review, just to kind of give a quick review, identify any problem areas, if there are any, so that we are in line with that full review, and we did a really good job through our mock review. And we will definitely be ready for the full review, which is a 3-day process in the first week of November.
Chief, before you leave, Luke is getting his life-saving award briefly for what?
So in early September, he was dispatched to a call for service where ultimately there was a victim experiencing symptoms of a drug overdose. Luke responded, quickly provided CPR, and ultimately provided a dose of Narcan, which we've been trained in and able to provide immediately. And he's been credited for saving that individual's life due to his efforts. So,
That is.
Thank you.
Thanks.
yeah, thank you.
And so, and that's tomorrow, that PFC meeting's 7 o'clock,
7 p.m.
Where?
right here
Right
in this
here.
room.
Yeah.
Right here in this room for anybody that would want to attend, to offer their thanks and well wishes for not only his action, but for his award. Awesome. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Thanks.
To touch back on, circling back, I'm sorry, I'm just throwing in because I didn't want to move over it too quickly, but what Trustee Doro had said, us in the community also can reach out to the school to suggest, I don't know what the school is working on, I don't know if anyone here in the village has heard that they might do something extra, I don't know. I haven't
heard
heard,
anything.
I haven't either. Haven't
I just
students
noticed
heard.
that here in front of the village, people tend to slow down when they see the walk, because I
Yep.
think that sign's there in the middle and they
Yep.
see it. So having another one in downtown where there's another frequent
Oh,
walking place,
yes.
and people just zoom right by would be a really great idea.
I've thought it's a
I-
good idea for a long
I
time.
would disagree with that statement. Ask Darlene how easy it is to cross over here. I mean, it's, this is, I
That's
stopped,
dangerous.
Don't
I
slow
stopped
down.
here and 2 people passed,
Sometimes they
came
just-
the other way. I
Yep.
mean,
Yeah.
those signs, I mean, I understand we want to do it. I wish we could put some teeth in those things. I
Well,
mean, it's like, Darlene, how,
you
you
can't.
go,
Well, I think all the staff is aware, and we don't certainly take a walk of faith. We really
Right.
observe what's happening. I think it still brings people's attention to it,
Correct.
but oftentimes people look right at you and
Just keep going.
You know what I do downtown, and even right out here, I don't go on the cross, I know I shouldn't say that. I go up
Oh,
the
sorry, I
street, because then people look at you. I mean, you can't just walk out. But, you know, it is, we used to have a barrel over there, and that was down the street all the time, you know.
No.
I don't know.
I
if we need a
myself am
bigger-
observant, but I'm very
Yeah.
quick to get
But
out in the
they-
middle of the road so that they know I'm going.
People don't pay any attention, they come down this hill,
I think
and even
something's
in by
better than nothing.
Palmer's there, that,
I would agree,
I think
something's
it's
better than
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah,
I talked to-
I think it's a
stopped
help.
in Darlene's
Something's better than
yeah, we have to check that
I
out.
can, I'll be honest here.
Stop, so.
Working near the courthouse in Waukesha and it works very well there. It really does. Everybody knows.
When somebody
Yeah.
approaches, I
slow-
think their signs flash.
They do.
They do.
They do. But
Yeah.
that's where I learned. I always
They also
wondered,
know
why are
this.
those big signs letting you know the crosswalk is coming? That's how I learned that you better slow down. There's a crosswalk coming, so the pedestrian has the right of way to not just keep on going.
Yeah.
But so it did it.
Yeah.
It does make a help. It's a big help.
Cause that is a bad spot at Palmer's, that's worse than out here.
Yep. Yep. So, thank you for bringing that up. Any other announcements? I'll entertain a motion.
Oh, are we up, that's your job?
I motion we adjourn.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we adjourn this meeting. All in favor? Aye. This meeting is adjourned. That is a record, 34 minutes.